Hi, welcome back to my channel. My name is Daniel Dyer of Dyer's Eve Leather. So doing the next step on drumstick case, we're doing the scaling. Scaling, when you do it, it looks awesome if you do it right. So the first thing that you're going to do, of course, get your, it's actually an English tipper for a belt tip. Works great for these right here. I've got 3 different sizes depending on the size of the project that I'm working on. We decided to go with a 1-inch. So you'll get your line and you'll decide how you want to start it, because this side right here is going to be the visible side. I started right here in this corner. So you just go through, line up the marks, put it down there, stamp it, keep doing that, and then tip, 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 tip. I'll do a few right here to, I don't know how well you can see that. I'm going from tip to tip on the bottom right there. These are very, very sharp. So you got to be careful about actually cutting completely through the leather. That's definitely not a good thing. I mean, honestly, this stable right here, I don't usually use this for stamping. It's got a little bit of a flex to it, so it makes it kind of hard to get a really good stamp impression. However, for doing something like this, where I want to make sure I don't go too deep, it works just fine. So the hard thing when doing the stamping is the edges. I'll kind of show you what I'm doing here. Let's see, there we go. So you can see the very, very faint lines right in here, where what I'm going to do right there on the edge is you take your tool and you cock it over. I'll get my big fat arm out of the way, and what I'm doing is just barely, I just want a little bit of an impression. Now this one I got a lot more of a bite, so I'll cock it over. Get this right here on the edge. All I'm wanting is just that little bit, just so I can go back through. Once I'm done, I'll take my knife and use those little teeny tiny lines and I'll carve those in. It doesn't have to be, it doesn't have to be really, really solid. We are going to take a tool and hit this edge right here and kind of fade them in. So I'm just going to keep going. Once I get all those in there, then I'm going to go through and edge every single scale to kind of give it that 3D look. And again, if you do it, let me see. Oh, here we go. Here's one that I did in the past. And I don't know how well you can see there. You can see I went through and got a really nice deep impression around every single one. Takes a good long while. It does. Very, very time consuming, but as you can see when you look at that, the results are awesome. And what we're actually thinking about doing with these ones, and since obviously this project right here is not done, this is going to be a bag for my motorcycle. When I got the pattern for this, it was a Tandy pattern. It was all right. The side pieces, the setup of their holes wasn't very good. And actually, when I went through and completed it, I started to stitch it together, and some of the holes had been so close to the edge that it just wasn't working right. So I actually got to go and redo those edges. And then once I do that, then I get it all put together. So let's see again. We'll see if I can get this in the light. Let's see how well. Yeah, you can see that color. That is a red, then covered with an antique mahogany. And you can see up here, you can see the stamps that I used to kind of fade those edges in and kind of hide any little mistakes that I made. Because no matter what, you're going to make mistakes. Nobody's perfect. I'm definitely not perfect. Ask my wife, ask my kids. I'm definitely not perfect. Yeah, see, there's a little snicker over there. All right.
Not all who wander are lost.
Yeah. All right. So that's what's going on right now. Like I said, very time consuming. The scaling in and of itself isn't too bad. I've probably been working on this maybe 10, 15 minutes. You know, getting close to this top right there, that can be kind of a pain in the butt. Because again, you know, I'm looking at it. I might get really, really lucky here. Let's see how my luck's doing today. Because I think that's actually going to be just almost perfect. It is. That is. I'd love to say that I planned that, but I'd be lying through my teeth. So we're going to be just about maybe a 1/4 inch away from the edge. So this row right there, I'm not even going to mess with trying to get the next row set up because it's going to be so close that the fade-in stamping right here on this line is gonna go right into that tip. So that is perfect. That is really going to look good. Honestly, with this line and this line, I'm probably not even going to bother with the fade-in stamping. I'll probably just do it on the sides here. Because one of the things that we're thinking about doing is taking, you know, right around right in there on each of the scales and punching a hole, and then doing some type of, I don't know, maybe a chrome rivet, maybe a brass rivet. She still hasn't quite decided on if she wants the mahogany or if she wants like the antique black. We do a lot of the antique gels just because it really shows and brings out the texture and the patterns in the leather. You know, I don't know if you saw on this one right here. You know, right there on the edges where that's stamped in really deep, that really sits in those grooves, and you know, sits in there and gives you a really, really good edge look. Makes it very, very nice. All right, so that's where we're at right now. I'm just gonna keep rolling. Again, any questions, comments, concerns, complaints, just shoot me a message or a comment in the box below. Thank you.
Bye.